Welcome to the Mastering Energy Medicine podcast. I'm Beth Manning, a psychic healer and medical intuitive, and this is the podcast to help you deeply connect to your body, mind, and soul so you can heal the root cause of pain, disease, and illness, connect with your inner wise woman to make more informed health choices, and fall deeply in love with your body and with your life. Welcome back to the podcast. So today we're going to try something a little different. This is something that I channeled from my guides. It's called Your Body Speaks, and we're going to be moving throughout the body, speaking to different muscles, organs, diseases, pains. We'll see what pops up, what I channel. And if you guys have anything that you would like some more information on, I would love to hear from you. But today we are going to start with the liver. And this is a message from the liver and some channeling around what the liver would like for you to know. And a lot comes up as well about how to help the liver detox, how to help heal the body by the way of the liver. So just like people who try to be tough, the liver is very sensitive. It tries to be tough, yet it's forced to carry and hold so many bitter feelings, emotions, and we dump them here into the liver. All these emotions, all these caustic thoughts that we have about ourselves and others, we dump them here and we hope to forget them. It is the buffer for our anger and our shame around feeling it. The more we dump unhealed pain here, the worse the body feels. It becomes slow, sluggish, we're quick to snap or judge. And then to make matters worse, we ingest substances hoping to numb this pain that we're feeling. So such as alcohol, fatty, greasy foods, sugar, drugs. And the liver responds by saying, I'm trying so hard to contain all this, but I can't hold it all. I can't keep it together. All our emotions are processed through digestive organs and through the liver. There is a holdup here. It creates this stuckness, this stagnation like sludgy oil. And because of that, it slows down the function of the entire body and what can be processed. And over time, it creates this sludgy, toxic swamp of sorts. And there are some things that we can do to help the liver. The liver's showing me that we can do some gentle tapping here, some tuning in, understanding what the liver needs. We're really feeling into it, feeling into what those emotions are that we're holding on to. And there are foods such as parsley, celery, dark greens that help the liver ease some of its burden and help it to process. But what so many people don't adhere to is they don't go slow enough. The liver wants you to remember that it is sensitive. We think of it as tough. We think of it as it can, my liver can take this. My liver can digest this. That's fine. I can just stick this here. I don't have to feel this anger. I don't have to feel this hurt. And we just create more and more and more that the liver must hold. But when we release this, it wants us to go slow. It doesn't want to feel like when a friend comes over and dumps everything onto us and suddenly we're holding so many things that we don't know what to do with it. It's overwhelming. And the liver feels the same way. So it is happy to release what it is holding when it feels as though you're ready to come to the table and work with it. It will only release so much at once. It must be healed not just by releasing these emotions such as anger, but by turning off your own toxic tongue to speak with less judgment, bitterness, and betrayal, and lean into self-love and opening your heart space to your own acceptance of yourself. In order to heal the liver, in order to truly detox the body, the two must begin to work together in balance. That's the liver and healing the heart chakra. Toxic thoughts are healed with self-love, respect for one's healing, and the need to see the truth, not the illusion of the world that stems from anger, fear, resentment, and betrayal. We must start to see the truth of things. And self-trust is the foundation of this. We must learn to see below the anger. Anger hides the true emotion often. So I invite you to explore what is underneath this anger, this big emotion that you're holding. What is the emotion that you don't want to feel? What is the emotion that you're tiptoeing around? It might be fear, inadequacy, hurt, betrayal, mistrust. And when we detox the body, it must always be led from a place of love, harmony, returning to wholeness, not out of fear or needing to fix what is broken. And the liver, instead of a once a year detox, it would love for you to have a daily practice of nourishing it. And you can do so with some teas or some herbs like milk thistle, burdock, and also really leaning into this connection to your own heart space and to developing a practice of loving self-compassion. In my own healing practice with clients, I find that especially a lot of the women that I work with who feel like they must try to control everything, that they're so afraid of losing control. Often they will be in these habits of people pleasing or not really setting up boundaries around their time and their energy, and they feel so depleted and like they can never do enough. Oftentimes with the grid light healing, which is my energy modality that I work with, I'll find that the liver lights up right away. And so much of the pain that people are holding, the anger and resentment that they have towards themselves, is held in the liver. And I remember I was working with someone who had a lot of anger and resentment toward her father, that it had been so difficult for her to release it. She felt guilty because he had done a lot of positive things for her, but she also felt like he didn't pay enough attention to her, didn't really care about what was happening with her. And she tried to do more and more to make amends in the relationship, and he just wasn't open to it. And when we started the grid light healing, it took me right to the liver. And as soon as we started running energy through the liver, her father stepped forward, and we were able to really release a lot of what she had been holding around her father in the liver. And she was so surprised because she thought that it was anger, that it was resentment, but it was actually a lot of feeling hurt around not having the love that she needed from him. And there was this immense sadness and grief and unworthiness, and so much of it started to come to the surface once we were able to kind of gently support the liver and emotionally help like with the energy to release some of these emotions into where she could comfortably process them, where she was feeling safe, where she was feeling supported and held by the energy. And there was such an amazing emotional release that she felt so much lighter, and her body felt so much better in terms of her digestion and the bloating that she was feeling. And she had kept trying to resolve this through cleanses and through being really strict with her diet. And the body doesn't respond to strictness. The body doesn't respond to extreme restriction. The body perceives that as a threat. And the liver has to hold all of that. So when you address your liver, do so out of love, out of curiosity. Do it with an open mind, an open heart, and giving it the time that it needs. Allow your body to lead the timeline, not your mind or not someone else's prescription for how long a detox should last. Because the liver, just like you, it needs love. It needs care. It needs understanding and compassion. And then it will begin to work with you to start to release some of the things that it's been holding and to start to free up this digestive process. So I hope you enjoyed speaking to the liver today. And we'll continue this series of speaking to different parts of your body. And I do healing work privately with clients. If this is something that you'd be interested in learning more about, please book a connection call. You can find the link below in the show notes. This is a half hour where we connect. I do some channeling around what I see with your health and what I see in terms of your path forward for healing. So we create a plan and then we create a program that will suit you and how we can work together to get you to your goals. So please, if you're interested, feel free to reach out or hit the link below and it'll bring you directly to a scheduling link. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode today. If you enjoyed this, please share this with a friend. Please leave a starred rating or a review. It helps more people find the show. So thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time on the Mastering Energy Medicine podcast.